Now listen, I'm going to try to really simplify this because this is a concept that I typically teach to children that have to take a test. Hello everyone, Kayla here, and this is What the Kink, a natural hair channel where I share my personal hair journey and tips, tricks, and product reviews to help you with your own. In today's video, we are getting into something that I am often asked about, and that's humidity and trying to wear a wash and go in the humidity. I think a lot of people see that I live in Florida, they know that it's humid here, and they're like, okay, I visited Florida and it was crazy, what do I do? Particularly, you know, people travel in the summertime and you may live somewhere where it's not humid and you're trying to figure out how your hair could possibly survive. So I get it. I understand that I'm asked about this a lot and why. So I'm going to go into some things that you have to know in order to battle this extremely humid weather. So the first thing that you really want to know about is dew points, okay? Now listen, I'm going to try to really simplify this because this is a concept that I typically teach to children that have to take a test. You guys don't have to take a test, so you don't really need to know it in such detail, and you're just trying to make sure that your hair looks good. But here's the thing. When it comes to humidity, you see humidity either measured in a percentage, or you see it measured in what's called a dew point, which is usually a temperature at which the moisture in the air would turn into dewdrops, like liquid dew as a dew point. And it's usually expressed in degrees. And for the purposes of this video, because I'm in the United States, we're going to talk about degrees in Fahrenheit. So you see these two numbers and you may not know exactly how to respond to them. Here's the thing. I always look at the dew point. The reason why is because the percentage really has a different meaning depending on the temperature of the air. So it can be 100% humidity outside, but it's dry as a bone because it's only 40 degrees. Huh? So here's how that works. Cold air does not hold as much water as warm air. This is the part that you might want to tune out, but I can't resist explaining why. So cold air is more dense. The particles are closer together and it sinks, right? So there's not as much room for water molecules to get in between and get in there. However, warm air, the molecules are more expanded and farther apart, leaving all of these gaps in places for which water to get in there. So if it's hot outside, the air has more of a potential to hold more water. So 100% humidity when it's 20 degrees outside is a whole lot different from 100% humidity and it's 90 degrees outside. There's a big difference. So that's why I tend not to look at the percentage when it comes to how humid it is outside. What you want to look at is the dew point, okay? And typically the golden magical number is 60 degrees. At 60 degrees for a dew point, that's pretty much perfect humidity. Your hair, there is moisture in the air, but you can still have a pretty decent hair day and your hair is not going to poof or expand too greatly. However, if it is above 60 degrees, that is when there's definitely more moisture in the air and you are more likely to have a frizzy, poofy, not so great hair day. I don't want to say bad because sometimes that frizzy look, sometimes that's what we're going for. But anyhow, so typically I think what people are asking me about is when the dew point is above 60 degrees. And that's when we want to get into the products that you're using. So a lot of people will tell you to avoid humectants. And I actually live, like I said, in a really humid place, and I actually don't avoid humectants. But I will tell you some common humectants. I have a list here of some common humectants in hair products if you choose to go that route and just avoid products that contain humectants or high levels of humectants, meaning the humectants are really close to the top of the ingredients list. So common humectants in products, we have glycerin. Everybody and their mama knows glycerin. People make glycerin-free product videos. Propylene glycol, panthenol, sorbitol, butylene glycol, hexylene glycol, triethylene glycol, 1, 2, or 6 hexanetriol, dipropylene glycol, and 1 or 2 hexanediol. Typically sugars and things like that are going to be humectants as well. And then so there's some couple natural humectants like honey and stuff like that could be found in there. I'm going to link a resource down below so you guys can actually get a list of some of these humectants, so that if you are wanting to go the route of avoiding humectants, then you can do so by looking at the list and then matching it to your products. But here's how I get by living where I live and still having a decent wash and go that doesn't really respond too much to the humidity. And that is, you need to get into using hard hold gels. A hard hold gel is going to pretty much almost humidity proof your hair and make it so that you can wear your hair longer. So my choice hard hold gel is the EcoSlay Jello Shot, and then I also, when I can get my hands on it, like the Soultanicals Frozen. These are very hard hold gels. They are very similar to Eco and Wetline, except they are more on the botanical end of things. And like the humectants in them are typically film forming. I was like, what? Something's wrong here. Film forming humectants that actually develop a cast around your hair. So I typically will style my hair with these gels, and they are over top of a more humectant type gel that may react to the environment, but that gel doesn't have a chance to react because I am going in and styling in small sections with the more firm holding gel. So you definitely need to get into, if you're a cream styler, that's fine. Style your hair how you would normally do, and then you could do the second thing that I do, and that's just glazing the harder hold gel over the top of my styled hair. So that is actually this wash and go that I'm wearing right here. I styled with something that would pretty much react to the environment. I've tried it before by itself, and it does react, and I don't get that many days. And this is the She-Scented Plum Nectar and Agave, what's it, Curl Perfecting Custard, I think is the name of that one. That particular gel gives me definition and whatnot, but one, it doesn't have a lot of shine, which is not important. And then two, it does react to the climate where I live. I styled my hair on Saturday. Today is Monday. My hair is still together, and I have been outside of my home. I've been out. It rained yesterday, and my husband and I went out anyway to go do what we had to do. So, but what is keeping this intact is that I topped it with EcoSlay Jello Shot. I just glazed it over the top. So, you know, you can style your hair with the regular gels that you're used to, get the look that you're used to doing, and then glaze over it with something that is more hard hold, just to act as a shield to protect your hair from the humidity. If you're watching this video, you're probably a wash and go girl. So I'm going to link a video here that shows you how to get super defined results. And then I'm going to link my wash and go routine, the most recent one, in which I am using that hard hold gel over the top of a more humectant type gel. Subscribe. I post videos every week, and I'll talk to you in the next one.